here from Third World Aquatics. This is actually part 2 of prepping for the Summer Racing-Piston Powered-Autorama show, which is on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the IX Center in Cleveland, Ohio. So we are roughly 18 days out, and I tell you what, just every day, little by little, just kind of working my way closer to getting this thing clean. And from where right now, from where we stand, underneath the car is absolutely 100% perfect. I mean, you could eat off this thing.
Oh, good.
That's what it takes. I mean, these judges here from Summer Racing, they don't mess around, which I learned a couple of years back. Man, these guys are under the cars with flashlights and mirrors, and they're inspecting everything, especially if you're looking to qualify and compete against all of these other cars, Camaros, Mustangs, Corvettes, obviously in the Mopar class, Chargers, and other Challengers. And I tell you what, if you're looking to get placed, boy, man, you better be looking good. So we're trying our best. Now, the top of the car is really not looking that good. That part's actually coming up here in the next 5 to 10 days, as we're going to be taking the car here probably this Tuesday night, and we're heading for Mentor so that Albert and his team at Block and Chip can take a look at the hood. Because believe it or not, I messed up. I need to show you what I did. All right, guys, so just to go over real quick what kind of transpired probably 2 years ago. I really haven't talked about this probably ever, but I guess I'm going to eat some crow and kind of show what I did wrong. But Albert actually showed me how to properly wash a car in all these years. Here I'm thinking I know how to wash a car, but in reality, there's definitely the proper way to wash a car as opposed to, you know, the way I was doing it in the past. So with a microfiber glove, which you could probably get at AutoZone or Napa or O'Reilly's, I actually had 2 gloves, and what he had taught me was pretty much from this line right here down would be with the first microfiber glove, and then the other glove would be from the pinstripe or the brake here in the fender to the top of the car. So dipping the rag in the bucket, and believe it or not, with the glove on my hand, I would literally wash the glove with the hose. So every time I kind of, you know, dipped into the bucket and pulled out those subsuds, you know, before that rag went in the bucket, the glove was actually getting rinsed off prior to going in the bucket. So it's one of those things, you almost got to see it as I'm doing it. But bottom line is, the car was completely washed, and I would spray it down with the hose, and I completely worked my way around the car. So once the car was completely washed, all the dirt was gone, every section was completely addressed and cleaned, and I mean, the car looked absolutely phenomenal. This is where I probably, well, this is where I 100% did mess up. So the other little trick is blowing the water off the car so that the water never has a chance to really dry. You're really just pushing that water off with high pressure air. So as I was working my way around the car, I was, you know, top, bottom, sides, what have you. I got over here by the tires. I was pushing the water away from that area. I was working my way over here. I'd open up the door, you know, catching out all the different jams around the door here, down here by the sill. I'd worked my way over here. I caught this tire right here. There's a whole process. Like, let me open up the trunk, because water really starts to collect in this whole area down inside here. So I'm pushing the water here off the, well, kind of a small wing right there, but just constantly pushing and pushing and pushing this water off the car and cleaning. So I get over here. I open up this door. Same thing. I'm cleaning out the jams. I get up here, I'm pushing it off here on this tire. I grab the windshield wiper blades, I'm pushing in this area because obviously the water's just everywhere. I work my way over here. I grab this blade, I push it up, pushing the water with the air. Once again, and now some of the water is migrated over here. Grab the top of the car. Push, push, push. And I'm just constantly walking around the car with the blower and just little by little getting this thing 100% clean. This is where I screwed up. I get down here, I pop the hood. I'm so focused on this tire. I think I had closed the door. I'm down here, I'm working on this, pushing the water out again. Now I'm out by the front, working on the grill. And I said, okay, I know water gets up underneath here. So I go to grab the hood, I raise the hood, and that's when I noticed, probably about halfway up, something stopped me.
Oh, hell no!
And obviously, as you can tell, there's the culprit. The windshield wiper blades were in the up position.
Hell no!
Didn't even see it. Literally, I was just kind of bouncing around. I didn't even stop for 1 extra second. And with that, I had caught the hood right there. And obviously over here on the other side, right there. So obviously the blower went off. I pretty much about passed out. I had to stop everything. I closed the windshield wiper blades, and that's when I started to inspect it to try to figure out just how bad it was. And believe it or not, with the expel that they put on the car when we did the full body wrap, when the car only had 50 miles on it, I mean, here's a testament to getting a car wrapped. You can't get any closer than this. It literally peeled back the expel in this area, but it did not damage the hood. Did not scratch the purple paint. So the hood has not been compromised, if that's the word we want to use right now. The expel did its job. It saved the paint from getting scratched. So all that being said, we're going to have Albert take a look at it. Let him make the final decision. I got to believe that there's probably a high probability that the piece that's on the hood is going to be completely removed. Everything's going to be completely clean, prepped, and then they're going to apply a whole new piece on the hood. So yeah, that was a bad one. I can't believe I did what I did, and I got so caught up in the moment and didn't even realize that the windshield wiper blades were in the up position, and I cracked open the hood. So thank God it wasn't too detrimental where, there was scratched paint or a dent in the hood, because that would have probably have done me in. So, all right, so like I said, we're going to be packing up the car. We're going to be heading for Mentor, Ohio, and we're going to meet up with Albert from Block a Chip. And we're going to probably talk about this whole thing one more time with him. And let's get this thing fixed and prepped and get ready for the show. All right, guys, so not only are we getting the car ready for the show, I'm starting to get all the parts and pieces that make up the display. And we actually created this about 2.5 years ago, kind of going with a different look this year. Me and Don welded these up. So what you're looking at here is 3 out of the 6 brackets, and we these things are big, man. These are 5-inch plate steel, 1/4-inch wall thickness, and right there in the center is a 3-inch coupling, which obviously attaches to a 3-inch rigid pipe, which is probably, I think it's about 39 inches tall, and you're going to see that here in just a few seconds. Now, the reason why we went like overkill here, obviously all of this sits up underneath the carpet, and the only thing you're going to see sticking out here real soon is just that coupling. Let me pull you over here. I got 3 out of the 6 pipes right here in the back. We had these powder coated purple to match the car. We welded on this nut here and some threads here so that when we take the light actually attaches here. You're going to see this pretty soon. And then a wire goes through here, and then it actually comes out the coupling. So you'll see that here in a few minutes. And then obviously up here, we took the chain, cut off a couple of the lobes, and we welded it right to the pipe. So all this got powder coated to match the car. The chain is in the garage. So like I said, I'm bringing all this stuff back, and back to these rigid pipes over here. Obviously, these things are pretty heavy, so that's another reason why the brackets are huge, because we didn't want one of the pipes to fall over, especially when we attach the chain to it. So that's why these things are monstrous. This one here and the one right up there, one's for the driver's side, one's for the passenger side. I can tell because these are kind of a different shape. They've got the long arm right here, and obviously this part here goes underneath the car. But up there, this is one of the 4 corner pieces. It's a different shape. But you're going to see how this all comes together here pretty soon. All right, guys, it's Thursday night, and last night me and Cody took the car to Block of Chips, so it's already been dropped off. It's gone. And we're probably going to be up there in a day or two. We're going to talk to Albert, but I tell you what, just by having the car in here for the 20 days that it was, I tell you what, I definitely need to do something with this floor, because the concrete dust, it just keeps just getting all over the car. It's crazy. You clean and you clean and you clean. I come back the next day and it's like, man, what the hell? The whole top of the car is dusty. So just by walking on the concrete, this stuff just gets in the air and just settles down through the night, I gather. But, the walls are painted, the ceiling is painted, so it's not coming from anywhere else. Everything's completely sealed in. It's definitely the floor. So we are probably going to go with a purple and black checkerboard. So we'll show you how that comes to be here probably in a couple of months, but I definitely see that coming to kind of seal the floor off. But right now what we're going to do is we're just going to show you quickly how we're going to do the layout, the actual display for the car. So I'm going to start bringing all the parts and pieces in here, so I want to be prepared for that, so that when we do get there on Wednesday night, there's no last minute, aha, we got you, and maybe I screwed up on something and we're missing something or forgot something. So definitely going to do a dry run and kind of putting the display together, because it's been about, like I said, almost a solid 2 years since this has been up. So let's go ahead and throw it together. Just to give you a rough idea of what we got going on here, now you can finally tell just how big this bracket is and why it has to be as big as it is, because look at the size of this thing. By the time we finish screwing this in, I've just got it started just a little bit, but we're probably 43 inches in height on a 3-inch rigid pipe. So this piece of, I'll tell you what, this piece of pipe is pretty heavy. I mean, it's got to be pushing probably 30 pounds. But just to kind of recap, obviously we welded on these lobes right here, and I can tell that this is a corner pipe, and I've got everybody in position right now where they need to be, because on the corners, obviously we got one lobe going in that direction and one going in the opposite direction, and whereas on the center pipes, there's one on either side. But these brackets are heavy duty, because obviously once the chain goes on, we didn't want, somebody pushing on these, or this thing falling over and accidentally hitting the car. So that's why we went with this massive footprint. Like I said, you're not going to see any of this here real soon, because the carpet goes completely over top the whole thing. So all this gets covered up, and the only thing you're going to see is literally just the coupling sticking out of the top of the carpet right into the pipe. So now over here to where the light's attached, you can see, like I said, we put a stud on there with a washer and a nut. And then obviously the light goes right to it. Let me take it to the opposite light over here in the corner, because I've already got it attached. And you can see how this is just going to point up at the car in 6 different areas. So one of the things we have to do now is, like I said, we provided this hole over here, and this is where the wire will go in. But at the same token, we put a hole way down here, and that's where the wire will come out so that it daisy chains from pole to pole. But to do what I got to do and connect this, obviously, to the wire that's coming from that light and this other light, it gets a little tricky, so that when we're building this at the show, I've actually got to push the wires through here, up the pipe, and have them stubbed out before we even screw this on, so I can make up the electrical connection right here, and then when I'm done, I'll just push it down inside the pipe. But that'll make it so that all the lights are daisy chained. So, we also came up with a kind of a crazy idea. I needed some top caps for these pipes. So I went to Amazon and I found this crazy looking skull. We probably looked at 10 or 15, and I kind of thought, okay, for the Demon, I'm thinking this one's the ticket. Now, these are made out of fish bone. So when this showed up, it was actually kind of like, it was all white and kind of a brownish flavor. So what I did was I took some purple spray paint and a sponge, and I just literally just kind of stomped all over the skull to really, you know, bring it in and kind of match the car. We welded up these brackets, or these this flat stock right here, and this pole right here, this piece of pipe, and this actually goes inside, obviously, the top. But to make things even just a little bit more unique, I took a drill and I drilled out the eyes, and I installed some purple LED lights that I also found on Amazon, and I wired them up underneath. Pull this one out, and just connects to a 9-volt battery. And we did a test on this. Obviously the one light is green and the other light is red, but we did a test on just how long we could run the LED lights in a 9-volt battery. And by the time we got to day 10, we thought, okay, well, we're probably good enough. So this looks pretty sickening. So all 6 of the pillars will get the skull, and all the skulls will be pointing outward. Now the one thing I am now coming up with is obviously as far as attaching this to the poles, so one of these skulls don't grow legs at the show, so these are going to be actually locked in so nobody can steal them. But I'm not going to show you how I'm doing that, but these ain't going nowhere, not after all that work. But other than that, we've got a light that's going to go in the center. This is a strobe light. I've got to set this onto purple, so that'll be right directly underneath the center of the car. All right, so the carpet is actually in the other room. It measures 14 wide by 22 feet in length. And now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because now we're actually a premier exhibit for this up-and-coming show, and they're actually providing a 20 by 20 spot, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do because the carpet's already been purchased and all 6 holes have already been put into that carpet. So maybe next year, maybe I'll up it a little bit if they want us to be a premier exhibit. But to do that, not only would new carpet probably be required, but this heavy duty chain that I found on the property, we sandblasted this and had it powder coated purple also to match everything else. But these chains would have to be lengthened because now all of the 6 pillars would go out just a little bit, and that would kind of mess up the, you know, the way the chain goes from pole to pole. Everything would be getting tighter and pushed back further, so that would kind of cause for a bigger problem. But other than that, right now it's a matter of breaking out some wire and start prepping all the daisy chaining so that we can get kind of a dry run on that and make sure everything kind of works and lights up. And then other than that, it's just a matter of making sure we know where the Demon crate is going to go and the TV, which is a whole other area that we haven't talked about yet. But we're going to be showing how the car actually got built at the Brampton plant in Ontario, Canada. So we're going to be providing the video so that all the spectators can watch how the car got built. But we'll probably touch down on that just a little bit in part 3. So other than that, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. And get ready. It's almost showtime.